Cari amici sportivi, welcome to another edition of Red Card Weekly, here where we talk all about the Serie A, Champions League, everything soccer, and where we're not professionals, nor do we pretend to be. First I'd like to introduce to my left, co-host Francis. La mia Inter, quante occasioni, ma meno male ci sta stramaccioni. Colo Giacomo. To my right, I have Steve. Sì, il gol non era regolare, ma statevi zitti, tifoso occasionale. Polillo. And I am Vince. Nel mio cuore ci sta la regina. Scusate, la regina siete nel mio cuore, ma il Milan sempre eterno amore. Tavernix. Welcome again, guys. Let's take it through a bit of Serie A. And I just realized I didn't prep my scores over here, so why don't you talk a bit into the camera until I find my scores?
Guys, I must admit, I thought Inter was back on track. I said, you know what, we might have a chance for the Scudetto when we beat Juventus.
Were you drinking this morning? Maybe
I've been all day, to be honest, because I've been depressed, because the last 4 weeks it's been extremely hard on Inter. And I know you're going to go through the scores, and Inter won today.
But why don't we take it back to about 3-4 episodes ago when you were like, oh my god, non si ferma più l'Inter, siamo numero uno. And me and Steve, by the way, we have a question for you, live.
Yeah.
You're a proud Interista.
Yeah.
Very proud.
Yeah.
Right. I would like to understand how you post pictures of your baby son, which is very cute, dressed up in black and white.
Juve zebra.
So we're trying to wonder, maybe Francis might be a closet Juventine. I'm not sure.
Yes.
But if my son, I'm gonna put him with red and black. You put him. I have the picture right over here. I could show everybody. But your son was in black and white.
We're gonna post that picture.
My wife takes care of the fashion aspect in the house, so I have no say about that.
You have no say.
As long as there's no crest.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Anyways, Vince, you're gonna get us
from
the scores?
last Friday's score, Catania 1, Milan 3. Saturday's game, Juventus 3, Torino 0. Today, Siena 1, Roma 3, Udinese 4, Cagliari 1, Lazio 2, Parma 1, Napoli 5, Pescara 1, Inter 1, Palermo 0, scusate, Palermo autogol 1 and Palermo 0. Fiorentina 2, Sampdoria 2, Genoa 2, Chievo 4, Bologna 2, Atalanta 1. So those are your scores from this week's Serie A. So what are we starting with, Francis?
Let's start with the beginning of the week. Like I said, Inter had a game in hand. We played against Parma. We lost, and to be honest, we deserved to lose.
Yeah.
Against Atalanta, against Cagliari, we should have won. Against Parma, we deserved to lose. And it's starting to show that we might be Cassano dependent, especially after what's going on with Schneider, and I have to admit, I'm not too happy about that.
Well, you know what, I find that pretty despicable of handling. Now, let's be honest, guys, there's always two sides to the story. The story we're all hearing is that Schneider, or you signed this new contract at lower money, or you're not going to play. That's one side of the story.
Which I think is the truth.
Which is the truth,
yeah.
But you know what? You don't have a Cassano in there, and you have, probably to me, guys, the best player at Inter is Schneider. I was always a big fan of him, and that's why he's coming to Milan, but that's besides the point. You sit him down for all this, like in Stramaccioni saying, oh yeah, he's disponibile, I might call him. Like, you know what, just don't say anything. And see you guys play without Cassano, without Schneider, ça laisse à désirer.
We're missing that spark. We tried Ricky Alvarez, which against Parma was playing way too deep, was making sideways passes, totally ineffective. I'm fed up with Ricky Alvarez, I have to admit. And
guys, it's gonna come down to this. These are points that Inter and all the teams behind Juve, to make it not a one-horse race, have to continuously continue winning.
Yeah.
Because without getting these points, the loss against Parma, that's already -3. Now we have the Palermo game, not convincing, but they did win. Let's face it, it's won and it's done. Guys, the Schneider thing, I've never seen something like this. I've never seen something like this. It's such a soap opera, and it's usually rare that there's soap operas coming out of Inter, let's face it.
That's true.
They're not usually a team that decides to use their players this way. So now we're just seeing how financially restrained they really are, where they have to tell their best player, basically you're getting up there in age, but if you want to play, you're going to have to take less money.
28 years old, right? And mark my words, I'm predicting it right now, Schneider is coming to Milan. He doesn't want to believe it. Schneider is coming to Milan because him and Boateng, they're like this. The wives, they go shopping together. No, take it from
There's offers from elsewhere. Schalke apparently interested.
He's not going
Manchester
to Germany.
United
He's not going to
interested.
England. He's staying in
Guys,
Italy. Staying in Italy.
Milan doesn't have the money to buy Schneider, let's face it. How much do you think they would have to pay for Schneider?
Silvio has decided he's not going to do politics now. He's going to put all the money. Balotelli's going to come. Schneider's going to come. And then you're going to see what's going to happen
Anyways,
in January.
we're playing Napoli next week, and I must admit, guys, I'm getting worried because today we didn't create any chances. Of the last month, probably the less chances we've created. Juan Jesus, your favorite,
Juan Jesus.
against Parma was horrible. Biabiani killed him, and Samuel suspended for next game.
Yeah.
So we have a situation.
Cassano suspended. This is true.
He's back next week, so hopefully.
No, he's got 3 games. No,
No, he got 2 games.
Just 2 games.
He got 2 games, so he's back next week. Hopefully that will bring the
I thought
spark.
it was,
'Cause
Cassano.
Milito really misses
He needs
Cassano showing.
Milito cannot do anything if he doesn't have somebody
In
feeding him.
today's Palermo game, we saw a Malito with no service. That's just what you're
He had
gonna
that
get.
great shot there that almost like went into the top corner, but other than that,
At his age, he can basically just create as much as you saw today there. It's unfortunate,
Yeah.
but that's the type of striker he is. He needs to be put in spaces where he could score goals. It's hard for him to create goals on his own now.
he's like the Nicolas Bentner of Inter.
Another big game, guys. This game, it's always, I find it's overhyped because really, does Torino have a chance to beat Juve? When's the last time we remember Torino beating Juve?
Well, they haven't been in Serie A for quite a while, but you know, it's always that whole, like, you know, those years of Lazio were no good, and the whole, it's always that derby, right? But I was expecting a bit more entertaining soccer, which then that was named Gleek with that horrible tackle, that tooth, and you know, Francis was saying before, was like there was absolutely no point in that tackle.
In the middle of the
In the
field,
middle of
he
the
could have
field.
killed Giaccarini. Let's be honest, that was a
No,
straight.
it was
unnecessary.
Yeah, unnecessary.
And they were doing well, Torino, until that point.
Yeah, no, they were doing not bad. They were, you know, taking up. They had a couple of chances that went wide there when it was 1-on-1 with Buffon. but-
Maggiorini.
yeah. So, but other than that, Torino after that they just completely collapsed. Yeah, the penalty was warranted, but
Pirlo missed.
Pirlo missed. Yeah, Pirlo missed, and it happens to the greats, guys.
But second half,
but
Marchisio, 2 goals, Jovinko.
Second half,
They played well.
Juve came out. I watched the game and I found that Juve were really relaxed the whole game.
yeah,
Torino was dangerous, but it's kind of like Juve knew what they were going to expect from Torino. That's as much as they can give. The red card helped Juve, like we said there, just get a man advantage. But I found in the second half, even before the goals, Juve was even at sometimes too relaxed, and not realizing that hey, it's still 0-0. We need to score a goal.
yeah.
I find they created chances, but it's sad because this derby is supposed to mean so much more, and because Torino is not good.
Compare it to the team that beat Chelsea, champions of Europe 3-0. It wasn't the exact same thing. Same thing with Milan last week. So I think it's more that is it gone up to their heads, or they're just missing that consistency.
I think now they're
Conte and his hairpiece are coming back next week. They're
Yes,
actually
he
back.
is.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there.
They're starting to rotate the lineup. Guys, Pogba in the Vidal role. You think he did pretty well, actually.
You know, it's like a couple of shots from outside the area are very good. As Vidal is more like a defensive midfield. He does attack when he has to. I honestly see Pogba in that. If I had to choose between both of them, at this point, do you get rid of Vidal because he's going to?
No, you don't get rid of him, but you feel sicker like giving Vidal a rest now, don't you?
Yeah, no, definitely. For a 19-year-old kid, he's
But I think,
impressive.
to be very honest with you, I think when Pogba's in the lineup, he doesn't even fit in the Vidal role. They want him to play more offensive. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to compare because they're two different players. But physically, Pogba is very, very dominant.
Guys, bright light for Torino, obviously, Ogbonna, he did what he could. That would be the type of player that Milan would need.
That's a very, very, very important piece. Just that it's going to cost some money to pull Ogbonna away from
Like
Torino.
20 million or
and
something.
We're looking at 20 million. But unfortunately, we saw this week Acerbi, not a very good solution in the midfield. Mexes, we know what we can get from him.
Yeah.
1 week a bicycle kick, another week he tackles someone in the box for absolutely no reason and gets a card. And Mario Yepes, the cocaine deals.
But Mariolini, you know what, this guy is there. He does
Okay,
okay,
there
but
has to be a rotation.
we need a central defender, like a good, strong central defender. Hopefully Ogbonna, but we'll see what happens in January.
Anyways, talk about Milan that beat Catania 3-1. Fortunately for Milan, Barrientos gets his second yellow card. Milan finally gets a chance to make something out of that game because they were nowhere to be seen. That first half,
Vince,
let's be
stop
honest,
right
Milan
now.
was nowhere to be
Look,
seen.
The first half,
Yeah.
Steve, you will admit
The first half.
We were nowhere.
The first half.
Horrible.
Hey, we're talking right now.
The first half, I have to admit,
The first half,
Catania was very well
Very good.
organized.
Very
They
good.
were running at Milan, and Milan they looked like a little bit out of place.
They did.
Everybody seemed to be in the wrong position. Everything was going wrong. Again, I would think, personally, as a Milanese fan watching the game, I'd rather get a penalty shot called against us than a corner kick.
But-
I'm at that point. We're so bad at set pieces. I've
Yeah.
never seen this ever in the history of Milan. I don't know why. We cannot mark people. Legro Taglia. When's the last time he scored a goal?
1978.
I've never seen that.
Just, I want you to guys explain me, how did Milan look so good at you against Juventus that first half, so organized, and they played well.
Catania
And not to
took-
go back, a step backwards, and that first half.
Catania took the game to Milan. Catania at home is like, let's be honest, Catania is no pushover. And everything was working their way, and we just couldn't find our rhythm defensively too. I think, you know what, we'll have to look at the differences with Acerbi. But this whole polemic of the game, and yes, you know
The
what?
offside goal,
Look,
Robinho.
the goal was offside, okay? 100% the goal was offside. Now, let's look at it the other way around. He was not offside from the first kick because Robinho touched
No,
it midway.
that's it. Robinho.
The 2 yellow cards that Barrientos got, I'm sorry guys, that dive, if you guys watched the game, that was a complete dive because De Jong's looking at him and he's looking at him down, is a straight yellow for that. And Nocerino, the ball has gone away from him for at least a second, and you go there with your high boot. He
was late. He stayed on his legs. I just thought since he got a weak yellow card for the first one, the ref could have given him a break. Especially Barrientos was playing well.
I would agree if the play before didn't happen.
Thank you.
The play before that, he actually got his second yellow card. Nocerino's the one who took away the ball from him. So out of frustration, Nocerino was standing up straight and holding the ball. He got frustrated and he went for his static foot.
And being on a yellow, you don't do kind of tackles like that.
That-
You know what? Look at the other.
In the end, this game was one of those dirty games that all the teams have to win in the Serie A.
Yeah.
It was a game where you don't play well, but you end up getting the 3 points. That's what Milan did. And I have to say it, I think Catania lost this game mentally for themselves.
They collapsed after that first
You know
goal.
what? And then El Shaarawy yellow card for diving. That was definitely not a dive. Nocerino took him down in the box. That wasn't called. So we got to look at it both sides. But we didn't win 1-0. We won
Dirty
3-1.
game.
Anyways,
We won 3-1. And Boateng, what a goal! Superbo.
El Shaarawy
Clamoroso.
against comes through. Boateng wakes up out of nowhere. He pulls one of those every year.
And then he gets another brain cramp and
Exactly.
decides
And he gets a red
to
card.
take a slide tackle in a defensive zone when they were going out with the ball. Fine, I understand there was a tactical foul to stop the
But
play.
in this kind of game, it gets called as a
And
red
this
card.
kind of
yeah.
game, especially when he called a red card against Catania, which we all gonna say for the sake of the show that it was not supposed to be a red card.
Yeah.
The ref is gonna take out his red card automatically. I don't even understand why he looked surprised that he was getting this card. Boateng needs to pick up his game, or else Boateng has to sit on the bench.
I think Milan's getting close to their type formation. I think Allegri's on the right track with that.
We're getting there. So slowly but surely.
Elsewhere, Fiorentina drew against Sampdoria 2-2. Lazio wins again. Napoli smashes Pescara, and Roma actually comes back from 1-0 down. They didn't collapse, so now it's what, 3 in a row for Roma.
Yeah, no, Roma's looks like they're starting to gel, and this is what it is with all these. How many new players that Roma had this year? Same thing with Milan. Same thing even with Fiorentina. Fiorentina started gelling from the beginning. Milan's starting to gel now, and Roma seems to be gelling now. So you know what? Good for them. And Totti looks like he's 22 years old again. Like he's playing
back in
fantastic.
form,
Good
yeah.
for them. So for now, you know, consistency. We've been repeating it over and over again. Let's see if Zeman can take this into the winter break.
We have to all say something though. Serie A, very, very tight. If you compare it to all the other leagues there, from first place to ninth place, we said when we were looking at it.
First to sixth, there's 9 points of difference
points
between the first and sixth. So you know what, guys, that's a very
still have a
big,
championship.
Yeah,
We still have a championship.
Definitely.
It's not a runaway.
Elsewhere, we'll talk about the EPL. Manchester City and United are leading. Actually, United took the lead this week. City tied Everton, and City have been playing well lately.
I watched that game, and you know what? I can't say. I think the tie was merited from both ends. There was a lot of possession from Man City, but there was missing that clinical, finishing. And it's 2-3 games, I believe. Dzeko's been starting games.
Very
Mancini.
disappointing.
Dzeko is made for the bench. He's your super sub. He's a super Pippo Inzaghi. That's what he is. Keep him on the bench. Make Mario start. What happened last week when you made Mario start? When he was playing a bit more, he did score, right? Stick to what's working, because right now Man City, I don't know if they're going through a slump. I don't know if they're going to pick it up again, but it was a merited tie because Everton played very, very well.
I watched that game too, guys, and for my opinion, I think Mancini does not know how to utilize his resources. I find that the team that he fields, during the week, he brought in Milner off the bench. He scored a fantastic goal. And 2 seconds later, Milner gets hurt. So now he's back, and he's back at the old thing. He doesn't know what to do anymore. I think Mancini doesn't know what to do anymore with all his resources.
And I think he doesn't have the support of the fans, because he made a couple of subs last game, and the fans were not happy. Tevez came off, they were booing. Maybe they thought Nasri maybe should have came off, because Nasri's in the slump. They're talking about maybe going to get Isco from Malaga, because they're not happy with Nasri anymore.
Guys, Nasri has been a problem. We'll have to say it in the French team as well.
Yeah,
we know that he caused a lot of attitude problem. He probably is not very happy that he's maybe not playing irregularly all the time, so he might be causing a little bit of separation in the dressing room. You have to say, with Man City, how could there not be a separation in the dressing room?
Eagles should be in there.
I have to see, midweek though, I saw something a little bit strange from Mario Balotelli. He actually scored a goal after the English commentator, which I forget his name, blasted him constantly the whole game. And I've said it multiple times on the show, leave Mario alone. He's going to just do what he has to do. He's a very strange and unique individual, but he's going to score you a goal.
Milan Berlusconi. Bring him back
to Italy.
I would like to see Balotelli back in Italy.
It's more than one website. It's more than one story that I'm talking about, even though Mancini is saying Balotelli's not going anywhere. Balotelli is a long-time Milan fan. Even when he was playing with this guy's team, they caught him with a Milan jersey. Balotelli, El Shaarawy is going to be La Coppia per il Mondiale, and they need to play together. Mark my words, Schneider, Balotelli, January, and we're going to get him for about 6 million combined.
Elsewhere, United beats Reading 4-3. It was 4-3 at halftime, guys.
They scored 7 goals in 26 minutes, I believe.
English Premier League, you know how to defend.
But Manchester has a serious problem at the back. They need Vidic to come back, because next round in Champions League, once they catch one of the big teams, they're gonna have a hard time.
Guys, let's get down to the point, okay? I think the problem with Manchester United, yes, okay, Vidic is not there, but Vidic wasn't there in the past, and they had Rio Ferdinand, who's not the best defender in the world.
Definitely.
But in between the posts, they had Van der Sar, and Van der Sar came up with big saves. They spend money on De Gea.
Yeah, a lot of money.
De Gea is the most overrated goaltender in the English Premier League and probably in the world. He just doesn't come up with the big saves.
He comes up with big saves when they're not necessary.
Because wait, Manchester gives up a lot of chances too,
But he has to save some. You have to save.
Right now he's on the bench, not even playing.
Vidic is like that John Terry, where they're not probably the best defenders, but they have that leadership where they're calling to all their guys. So are they missing that? So yeah, they still won, but
thank God for their firepower up front, because they always have a chance to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
Chelsea loses 3-1 to West Ham. Benitez 2 draws and a loss since he took over.
Guys, there's a rumor that Materazzi is going to take the assistant coach at Chelsea with Benitez.
That was the whole running joke there. I think Mourinho and Mike on were talking. They were making fun of Benitez
being appointed, and that the Matrix was going to be his assistant coach. Matrix and Benitez do not get along together, so that's.
They were talking about bringing Benitez in to get Torres back on track.
That's not going to happen. Guys, a miracle. Jesus Christ, Bambino Jesus miracle will not get Torres playing again. So Torres out January, Falcao comes in, and Benitez won't be there probably till Hanukkah.
Elsewhere, Arsenal loses to Swansea 2-0.
At home.
Again, Arsenal does not live up to expectations. 3-4 years now? Is Wenger on the tightrope? The fans are getting very impatient, especially that every year we see in the reports that Arsenal financially is one of the teams that does the best in the world. Yeah.
But what does it not come down to is that Wenger deciding, like, Wenger's not a stupid man. He's been there for over 10 years at Arsenal. Yeah. Arsenal, I believe, it's just that from one game you see them scoring 5 goals, they play beautiful football, and then you go play Swansea at home, and Swansea, okay, it's not a top 5 team, but to lose in that manner, I don't know.
Always play entertaining soccer, just it's not effective.
It's not. It's really not. So I don't know exactly
And people at Arsenal want to get superstars now.
Yeah.
They're fed up of getting.
Well, guys, let's go back. Back
Podolski
in time.
gonna do it.
The Arsenal
Even
team
Smith.
that won all the
They went undefeated.
championship.
All
They
three
went
or four, yeah.
undefeated. Guys, you had Henry, Patrick Vieira,
Pires.
Pires,
Overmars, Bergkamp.
Hey, everybody was there.
Guys, a stock full of team. Now he's saying that he doesn't want to buy players anymore. Well, the Arsenal fans, they're used to some sort of team and some sort of superstar to relate to.
They were nowhere. He got them to get a taste of the winning mentality. They haven't gotten in a while.
Do you think that maybe Arsene Wenger now he's starting to overthink himself? He bought Shamak. He thought he got him at a deal. We never see him play.
And he played good at the last year when he was starting, but he needed to play.
Now he bought Giroud this year, and it seems to be
Now
working
he's
out.
starting to.
He's starting.
But you know what? I think we could all sum this up as Arsenal fans, us Milan fans. We feel your pain. From the great days to the lackluster days, we feel your pain.
Guys, elsewhere, PSG lost 2-1. Ibra scores again, but not a few losses. People in Paris are not happy either. There's rumors that Ancelotti and Leonardo might be out.
Can we make these harsh decisions after, look at how many games have they lost? 2 out of 3. They're out of La Coupe de France, stuff like that. But if they what's their goal? To win the Ligue 1, to go into the Champions League. They're 5 points behind.
But
the
if these owners come in, spending all that money,
But
they
I
expect
understand.
results right away.
Results right away. If you get all these superstars together, they need time to figure out.
But these owners don't see it like that. They spend money, they want to win right away.
But
Anyways.
maybe I was reading this week there that the French press is also getting on them because Ancelotti started a lineup with practically, I think maybe there was one French player on it, so they're starting to go that way. But you spent all this money on these foreigners. Who do you think is going to be playing on your field? The foreigners. It's going to bring attention to your league. It's going to make your league more popular. Now he's not getting his results. Leonardo, I have to say, guys, I don't know why he got this job.
Seriously.
What did he do in his career not as a coach? Because he did coach for Milan and he did coach for Inter.
But what did he do with the
But
Milan?
what did he do? Was he the one who was purchasing these players? And why did they go spend the money, all this money, and they gave it to Leonardo?
Maybe that's the mistake.
Maybe that's the original mistake, the
Possibly.
foundation of PSG. Yes, it's easy. Me, Vince, and Francis, I could have said, yeah, you were going to give me 190 million?
Sure.
I'll take Thiago Silva and I'll take Ibrahimovic. Doesn't take a genius to do that. But he's the one who brought in Pastore and doesn't play.
Yeah, he's not playing well.
No, Pastore.
He's the one who bought
That's
Menez
true.
and he plays on and off. He's the one who bought Lavezzi and he's not consistent at all.
Shadow himself. Shadow.
Basically, the buys are really working are Silva and Ibra.
And Silva and Ibra, which anybody, the chair in the corner could have made that buy.
Anyways, elsewhere, Barcelona wins 5-1 against Bilbao. Messi gets 2 goals. He's 1 goal away from Mueller's record.
I can't wait till he gets to like 1,000 goals so we can stop talking about it.
Seriously.
Elsewhere, Real Madrid wins the derby against Atletico. Falcao
No, we're gonna stop it over here. I want to go to this now. I want to ask you guys, if Messi is in Serie A, does he score 972 goals?
Probably not.
He has 972 goals.
I don't know how many goals. I don't give a shit how many goals.
Probably
he
not,
has.
but he still gets a lot of goals.
He still gets a lot. Does he get how many does he have now so far?
84.
84. Does he get 84 goals in a calendar year playing in
I don't
Serie A?
think so.
I don't
No.
think we'll ever be able to answer that question because I believe he's going to stay to Barcelona for the
Yes,
rest of his
because
career.
they're in Barcelona and in the 2-team league of La Liga,
Yeah.
because those are the only 2 teams that really count.
That's it. We're talking about Atletico maybe being contender this year, but
There's
they
only
got
2
brought
teams.
back to earth.
It's
they were
going to stay
bad.
that way, but...
And I just want to talk, it's a big win for Real because Mourinho's been on the road. Fans are not happy the way the team is playing. They're not exciting enough. Which goes to our question of the week.
Yeah, guys, our question of the week, and we're going to keep on doing it like we did last time with multiple choices. Who do you think is going to lose their jobs as a coach sooner than later? So our choices are Mancini at Man City,
You're gone.
Mourinho at Real Madrid,
You're there.
Wenger at Arsenal.
You're there.
What is this handwriting?
Benitez,
He's a doctor, by the way, Francis. Benitez at Chelsea.
Allegri,
Allegri, because he will
That's
be
my
replaced
personal-
by Pep Guardiola. and the other one Ancelotti. So we're gonna put this up.
Or
and we'll see if
nobody.
you guys-
We all think they're keeping their jobs, but somebody's going to
We're
lose
gonna,
their job.
somebody's gonna lose it. So who do you guys think out of all these guys?
And
Will,
answer the question. When you see it on the page,
just click on the link.
just
Click
on it.
Just click.
Anyways, guys, we have 5 minutes left. We'll get to our red card of the week. Steve, your red card of the week.
Mazzari from Naples. 1 week he's not a contender, 1 week is a contender. Make up your mind. It's enough. You're a contender.
My red card of the week goes to the Ballon d'Or listing. Sinclair doesn't even get nominated in the top 3. What does she have to do to make it the top 3? In the men's section,
You want me to really say what you
just say it.
No, we cannot. It's a G-rated show. It's a G-rated show.
Okay. Iniesta, guys. Understand Messi, Ronaldo. Iniesta is the 3rd best player in the world, according to me. Did he have the 3rd best season this year? I highly doubt it.
That's because
He was injured.
But
and-
the Ballon d'Or, they save money because they create a plate to stamp on the actual Ballon d'Or.
So they
and
reuse the same
and they
one.
just reuse it every year.
Anyways, the award used to be run by France Football. Since FIFA took over this thing, forget it's a real joke. Everybody gets a vote, and it becomes a popularity contest.
If this is the organization that puts England 3rd place in the whole world when the last World Cup was won in 1966, how can we take this trophy
That's
seriously?
it, but nothing to take away from Iniesta. But
No.
this is not the year that he should have been nominated.
One
Get to your two
Jesus,
yellows.
Let's
one
go.
Jesus should be there. My 2 yellows. These are merited. These are merited once again this week. The first one, Saturday morning, I'm watching Fox Soccer Central, showing the Catania-Milan highlights. Catania versus Milan, and that stupid idiot Brian Dunlop. Well, you know what's not him because probably the guys that write for him.
Exactly.
Come back, Catania coming back from a big win, derby win last week. Stupid. Catania lost last week. Then they start saying Catania scores against big spending Milan.
We have no money.
Big
no
spending Milan.
We have no
are you
money.
serious? And then they show the Nocerino, straight red to Nocerino. Are you serious? You don't talk about the Sharawi controversial goal. You don't show the red card to Boateng. And this comes to my thing. There's no coverage of Serie A. And this is Fox. This is Fox. This is, honestly, it's disgusting.
Which
For them to make-
explains the listings of the Ballon d'Or. The
Yeah.
zebra should be there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? Your stupid banter zone, and you know what? Why don't you have guys like us on the show? You're gonna see you're gonna have some. And my second one, this is not to all Juve ultras. This is a small group of Juve ultras yesterday that put on Striscione, a band, a bandiera, sorry, that basically said in some words that we are Torino, and you Torino, the only thing you have is that plane crash from Suprega, what is it called there?
Superga.
Superga. You're basically making fun of a plane that crashed that contained all of Torino's team.
Which was, by the way,
Which was La Nazionale, all of it was La
we
Nazionale.
could have won another World Cup with that
Cup.
team.
Okay, and you know what? That's very low. You know, yeah, Milan making fun of Cassano, that defibrillatore. You know what? It's uncalled for, but it's to a person. Never make fun of the dead. I think that was pretty low from that small group. And guys, let's just face it. Whether it be Inter, Milan, Juventus, everybody, they all have these stupid groups, just like Milan having those guys that booed Maldini.
Don't forget about Lazio, eh?
Huh?
Don't forget
Oh,
about
yeah.
Lazio. please.
Lazio. Sorry, Lazio. So those are my
Lazio
two.
gets a unanimous
Yeah.
red card.
But hey, you know what? Last week you saw, huh? No racism on their shirts. Nice move.
Good
from
luck,
Lazio.
but
Good luck, but
it's gonna be hard in Italy.
Guys, thank you very much.
Next week, Inter Napoli and Champions League will be settled. We'll decide. We'll announce all the qualifiers.
And thanks for all the people clicking on our pages and interacting, guys. Really appreciate it. We're up to close to 75 likes and averaging about 75, 80 views a week. So, guys,
Keep on
thank
watching.
you very much.
Thank you for the
Take
support.
that,
Take care.
Soccer
See you next
Central.
week. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.